story of hope for that worker in the church. In the bustling heart of Lagos, amidst the cacophony of honking cars and the vibrant market stalls, stood the modest yet lively Hope Community Church. It was here that Grace Oluwakemi, a woman in her mid-30s, dedicated her life to serving God and her community. With a heart full of faith and hands always busy, Grace embodied the spirit of a productive church worker, but her journey was not without trials. Grace had always felt a calling to serve every Sunday. She arrived early, ready to set up the church hall, greet congregants, and lead prayer meetings. However, her life outside the church was filled with challenges. Her husband had lost his job due to the economic downturn, leaving them struggling to make ends meet. The weight of financial stress often pressed heavily on her shoulders, but she chose to turn her worries into a form of worship. One rainy Tuesday evening, as the storm outside raged, Grace knelt in prayer. The flickering light of a kerosene lamp cast shadows on the wall, mirroring the turmoil in her heart. "Lord," she whispered, "I need strength. I need hope." Instead of succumbing to despair, she encouraged herself with scripture, remembering the words of 1 Samuel 36, "But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God." With renewed determination, she resolved to work even harder for God, believing that her faithfulness would lead to breakthrough. Each day after her usual chores, she devoted hours to planning church outreach programs. She envisioned a feeding initiative for the local children, whose families struggled to provide regular meals. Grace rallied her fellow church members, sharing her vision with infectious enthusiasm. Together, they organized fundraisers, collecting donations and preparing meals in the church kitchen. Despite their meager resources, they managed to serve over 100 children each week. The joy on those children's faces reminded Grace that her labor was not in vain. However, the storms of life were relentless. One morning, she received a call that her mother had been hospitalized. With no money for treatment, panic gripped her heart. "God, why this?" she lamented, feeling the weight of the world crashing down around her. Yet, amid the chaos, Grace found solace in her faith. She gathered her friends for a prayer vigil at the church. They prayed fervently, their voices rising above the storm outside, trusting God for a miracle. Weeks passed, and just as hope seemed dim, a breakthrough came. A local philanthropist, moved by the church's outreach efforts, offered to support the feeding program and help with her mother's medical bills. The joy and relief were overwhelming. Grace knew this was God's hand at work, answering her prayers in ways she could not have imagined. A story of hope for that worker in the church. Watch out for part 2.